You know, it's real crazy listening to this after all this time. Seeing how things change over time and seeing how people change, attitudes. It's pretty crazy. There's a consistency in what I'm saying. I think at the very beginning, on the very first part of this re release, you heard me talk about, I basically gave my testimony. I forgot about the poltergeist activity. That was all happening around the same time. That's when the Lord lit the fire within my spirit, the Holy Spirit that He placed within me. And this reminds me of that peace when it first washed over me. I want everybody to have that peace, but the reason I mention it is because of the consistency. You don't see it or hear a lot of consistency in this field. One week somebody's calling somebody a brother. The next week they're calling them a dog. Everything but a child of God. You could hear it in my voice. I was trying to be coy because I was still a constitutionalist. Still really didn't want to talk about my religion and or my faith in the Lord Jesus Christ. I didn't think it was anybody's business. Crazy how things change, isn't it? Folks, they had a Chase Frankenstein's monster with pitchforks and torches type rally for me a little bit more than a year ago. Almost deterred me somehow. And that doesn't even sound right, but it did. It almost deterred me from going back into the field or even coming on here and talking to you guys, which both I love to do. It's funny how people will ingratiate themselves to you when you have something to offer them. They'll embrace you as brother and friend. They'll go out into the field with you, sit down at your breakfast table, and eat your food with your family. And the whole time they're sharpening their knives and looking where to place it in your back. I'll tell you what, folks. Sincerely and from the bottom of my heart, the only reason I continue to move forward in this field, this so-called field of study, is because of you guys. You guys seem to enjoy what I do and what I have to say. So as long as that's the case, I'm going to keep pressing forward. Fortunately, as of November 5th, the muzzle is off. So, yeah, I'm just waiting to release the dog so he can bite. Funny how cowards work, isn't it? But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I am the last Baron of Bigfoot, D. Doss. I sincerely appreciate you taking time to take a stroll down memory lane with me. This is the first of many of the old content from the original BDRP that'll be coming out. If you haven't already, you'd be doing me a great favor if you'd click the like button, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you can stay current on all the new content that's about to start rolling out. It's going to be cool. We'll have fun.
He's a super bad space frog, and he's gonna gobble up and gobble down the human race. There is nothing you can do about it. He's gonna gobble up and gobble down the human race. Oh no.
not a religious person, believe it or not, but the faith that I subscribe to in this book, it tells me 365 times some form of do not be afraid, enough for every day of the year. That's what I put my faith in. That's what I believe. And that's what I believe has been propelling me. Zal says, I've seen so many theories that Bigfoot and Dogman and other related creatures are alien, supernatural in nature. Zal, you're right. And I thought that was hogwash. I figured just like, believe me, if you could turn back the clock 6 years and I was in the same position, you start talking to me about the spiritual nature of this and that, I'd cuss you out to your face. I'd say, you know what? You're a fool. Look at the world around you. We don't see ghosts and goblins every single day. When I was 15 years old, my mom passed away. Dad's old military man. I was as tall as he was. He looked at me as a man, went on about his business. I stayed in a 75-year-old house when I was 15. It was haunted as shit. All sorts of crazy stuff going on in there. But there's that part of you that don't want to acknowledge that. You want to rationalize. So I understand it in a way. But there has been some sort of an uptake. People want to say, oh, well, it's the internet and people are more connected now. So people who didn't have a way to share all this stuff before have a way to share it now because of, the open nature of the internet. I believe that to be hogwash. I mean, the internet's been around for a while. I believe that they would tell someone would pick it up just because it's interesting. That's where the entertainment aspect comes into it. But just because, we get a chill on the back of our neck listening to some scary thing that somebody's had happen to them, and we pull the covers up and sleep with the light on, that don't mean that just exists on the internet in some story form. There's a lot of this stuff out here. And you folks, everybody in this chat's been with me for a very long time. I'm not crazy. But that whole other aspect seems to be kind of building up. I talked to Bigfoot in Germany yesterday, and I hope I'm not telling tales out of school yet again. But he's got what I would call 5 alphas in his area, 5 abnormally big creatures. And they all occupy a very, very small space. And that's strange, but he says now they occupy an even smaller space, and they've moved away from the area where he's been filming them. And he's not going out there with the $300 Sony, flip cam that I have, HD and everything. He's going out there with professional filming equipment they use for news stations. All right. He's got the real deal Holyfield. Where he's getting this spiritual stuff, these entities, the physical ones, have began to separate themselves from that. They've begun to move away from that stuff. When he told me that, it really got me thinking. And folks, that's why on the same channel that you're listening to me right now, that's why I do the CERN specials. Well, I'll spend, sometimes a week, 2 weeks, just looking up material and basically putting it together like a puzzle, putting those badass 9-inch nails over it. I really want you folks to see that it's not just Bigfoot and Dogman. It's not just some entertaining or scary story, that this stuff is out there. And if you're really trying to come at it with the knowledge of Oppenheimer and Einstein and, some sort of background in literary knowledge and all that kind of stuff, stay with the internet. Don't go out there to those woods. The conspiracy is us. We have conspired to remain ignorant as a people. That is the real conspiracy. The conspiracy is man. We have blinded ourselves with things that do not matter. Somebody talks about a flag that was put up to be the American flag at one point in time. All of a sudden, they're taking TV shows off the air that include that flag because people's feelings are hurt. We have police officers, the people that protect us while we are asleep, being murdered based off of some inaccurate propaganda that they're putting on TV to rile people up. Oh, and on top of that, there's monsters in the woods. Have a good night. I mean, this is the world we live in, whether we want to believe it or not. It's not just out there in the woods. Have you ever heard of a drug called Flocka? And I didn't say Waka Waka. I'm not talking about the Muppet Babies. These kids call it Flocka. If you haven't heard or seen this after this, or open up another window, look it up. Just look up people on Flocka. These people, folks, are demon possessed. They have pharmakia, also in the Bible. Pharmakia is where we get the word pharmacy. Pharmakia, and listen, I'm not saying anything about pharmacies and legal drugs being witchcraft, but pharmakia, the ingestion of drugs, is a type of witchcraft that the Bible speaks of. Now you look up Flocka and you see these people and you hear these police officers, 20-year veterans, ex-athletes, talking about how they got in some sort of physical altercation, broke one of these guys' jaws, and this guy kept fighting. I wish I remembered the gentleman's name. He never really explicitly said what state he was in, but it's in a state where marijuana is legal. He's saying that there's an epidemic with this Flocka stuff. All right. This guy's an ex-Olympic athlete. He was a power lifter. You know what I'm saying? This guy isn't weak. He was forced into a physical altercation with one of these people in this, and he broke his jaw. Badly broke his jaw. The guy kept fighting. He hit him with the taser. He pulled those prongs out of his chest like it was nothing and kept fighting. It took 6 police officers, including the first one, who, I remind you, like I said, is an Olympic athlete. Now that goes beyond physicality of man. And to me, and this is just my opinion, that moves into the spiritual realm. And I just gave you that to give you a comparison. And I see a lot of people are agreeing with what I'm saying. If you can agree with that, just think about that in its pure form. I don't know why it is or how it is, but that stuff's out there. And I mean, if you want to get into the whole Nephilim thing, I don't know what Bigfoot is. I don't know if DNA, what's all that? What can that tell us? Like Mr. Dodson, when he came on, he really pointed out to me what I was privately thinking, that the whole DNA study was put forth by the same people who did the Olympia project. And if you've seen what they were trying to show on national TV as being the first clear-cut views of Bigfoot, that was a damn Chewbacca mask. People who aren't even into this thing saw that and they were like, wait a minute, I've seen that face somewhere before. It's a Chewbacca mask. The other one looked like a rug. And it's supposed to be, what do they call her? Lucy or Betty or Beatrix. I don't know. It don't matter. I don't know. Like I said, the point of this entire thing is there's going to have to be, at some point in time, with me including you guys, what do we want to get from this subject? Honestly, what I want to get is honesty, truth, and to spread that knowledge to my brothers and sisters. And damn the consequences. Nobody's going to scare me off with some petty little Girl Scout threats or some veiled nonsense. And even the people that I've looked up to that I'm disappointed in, because for whatever reason, they want to be involved in this subject. They want people who are young in this whole thing and who respect them to get to a point where they can actually talk to them and tell them that, oh, well, don't put out the good stuff. Don't make sure it's not too clear. That's madness. My uncle tripped in the woods and was mistaken as a dying boar. Thank you, Swamp Dollar, for that injection of levity. I guess somebody didn't like the DNA comment. That's our first thumbs down. I mean, honestly, you can all hit thumbs down for all I care. I'm just getting this stuff off my chest. And it's a lot. Like I knew if I was going to be 100% honest with you folks, I was going to lose some people because, yeah, you're used to, me being friendly, and which I still am. But sometimes the truth hurts. And the further we get into this thing, the more people get involved, because I guarantee you this isn't going to chase off researchers. Researchers are still going to come here and they're still going to tell you what they experience. because there are people who are building up that same type of courage. There are people who don't care about these people at the top who want to keep this knowledge from us, who are out there in, Bohemian Grove, hugging redwoods and dancing around, holding hands naked and eating dookie and whatever else kind of esoteric, occultic nonsense they do. Their day is coming. They can feel it probably more than we can because they're on the losing side. Leanne Common, she said, that's why I always avoided legal drugs or the misuse of prescription drugs. And that's exactly right. There's brothers and sisters who aren't that lucky, whatever circumstances. If you really want to know what's going on as far as the spiritual nature of anything, you talk to an ex-drug addict who's born again. You talk to them and you ask them what they've seen through their trials and tribulations, what they've heard and what they felt, and the peace that they got when they finally came out of it. You talk to them in person. You go to one of these people and you look them in the eyes. There's something, eyes are the windows of the soul. I wholeheartedly believe that. So, yeah. And sorry, I know a lot of people are thinking, hey, it's Dee's birthday. He's going to come in here and jump on. And I hope I just have that voice. I hope I'm really not coming off as being mad or aggressive, or I'm kind of fed up with nonsense. But we're going to move past that. Like I said, we're nipping on the heels of a lot of these big guys, and they can't ignore us for long. I don't matter in this whole thing. I'm just a guy. I'm just as significant or insignificant as the next man. The only difference is I've been close to these things multiple times, and I've been sitting back for far too long, biting my tongue with all this information that I've been given freely. So I won't smudge somebody's reputation or somebody's name who wouldn't give a bag of beans for me or this project or any of you, as long as you're buying their books and their merchandise and they can sign autographs for you. And not all of them at the top are like that. I want to throw that out there. Some people are just like us. They are really digging deep and they want to know the truth. But the bulk of them could care less about that as long as their bank accounts stay active. You'll probably end up with brain cancer because of being up close so many times. That's another thing. I've said it once before, but I won't say who. But there is a researcher who you've seen on this channel, as well as others, multiple times, who lives in a place that's highly active. Most of the male population of where this researcher is has inoperable brain cancer. Inoperable brain cancer. Meditate on that for a minute. That's highly abnormal, is it not? That's what I'm saying. I'm not on here to tell you some hokey story about, some Indiana Jones adventure I had running from one of these things. That's not my mission. And, Ohio Sasquatch Contact and Research, he calls it, going back to pharmakia, it's called the demon known as addiction. That's why I say we go back into this, going back to that text. We don't fight against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Like I said, going to Christian school and all that, I knew the words, but I didn't understand the implications. I think it's literally what the book is saying. These principalities and powers are different levels of these spiritual creatures, or whatever they are, demons. And, the mistake that, the cartoons that put forth how Satan is the king of hell, the Bible didn't say that at all. It says when the angels came to God to give an account of what they were doing on earth, Satan was among them. This is the book of Job, which says Satan has access to go to and fro between God's throne amongst his angels. This is after the rebellion. Think about that. Like, Revelations talks about the fall of the dragon. I want you to, I've never really started even, I never even gave it, I didn't care about piecing all that stuff together. The dragon, Leviathan, um, the king of what is it? The king of the children of pride, the spirit of the children of disobedience. They're all talking, it's all different titles for the same man, the prince of the powers of the air. That's a really fascinating one. The prince of the powers of the air. If they're talking about powers and principalities in the term or the subject of spiritual beings, the prince of the powers of the air, they're not talking about human beings, folks. They're not talking about Trump or Obama. That book's talking about literal spirit beings. Now, I've come to that conclusion opening that book since all this happened. You don't have to agree with me. That's just something personal that I feel. Jay Coop, who's said a lot of interesting things tonight. I don't understand people that will say they have clear pictures of these things and say they won't release them because of ridicule, or people will say they're fake. Why not show us? Absolutely, Jay Coop. I've seen you in the chat a couple of times. I don't know a whole lot about you, but I'm just going to guess that you're someone who follows this for the same reason I did. Want to get to the bottom of something that's been going on for a long time. You don't care about some rich assholes at a football game who decide to show disrespect to this country by not saluting the flag that people have lived and bled and died for. You want to know what's going on behind that veil. Same as me. That's a question I asked before and during this. I got the answer to it now. The reason they won't show you these clear pictures, there's two reasons. They either A, don't have them, or B, have them and it'll show that hidden side of this thing. The reason that I think that Mr. Donlin, when he went down there with the BFRO, Sam Houston, being a good, respectable, upright Christian guy, just take the Christian out of it, just being an honest person, decent person. When he came back and just shut down a thing that he had built, that'd be like me. This channel's had moderate success. I'm not talking about monetary success. I'm talking about just the growth and the like to dislike ratio. People seem to enjoy the content and the shows that I put forth in the interviews and whatever. That'd be like if I showed up one day without explanation and say, you know what? I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to deceive. And this is the thing. He said he doesn't want to add to the deception. That's what I've been trying to figure out. What deception is he talking about? Is he talking about the deception of the BFRO? Would that make this guy quit? Would people make him quit? Because I guarantee you he's had to deal with people. I don't think it's me. I think people that I don't too much get along with on this thing, they're having to deal with criticism from people. I believe it to be something more. Whether it be something with the creatures that's deceptive, whether it be something about them that's being hidden, that type of deception, I don't know. I'd like to know. I'd like to find out, though. Let's see what else we got here. Dadgum, y'all are going nuts tonight. Everybody got some. If you have anything like that you'd like to ask or tell me, go ahead, because I'm going to jump off here in a second. And I sincerely appreciate all of you listening. It means a lot to me. I didn't advertise this show as being, it's just one of those spur of the moment things that I was aggravated, and finally it all kind of came to a boiling point. And like I said, Yeti Spook, got to talk to him earlier yesterday morning, and I've seen when he was coming back. I love In the Woods with him. Great guy, good mind for him. His background really shines through when he's in the brush. This guy, I don't think he knows fear. Like I say, me and Tex and Barry Brown's Construction and Yeti Spook, we couldn't have grown up as kids together. We'd have been put in some sort of institution or something. None of us really have any kind of real due caution. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that looks scary. Let's go that way and see what it is. I'm trying to go back up because you guys have put a lot. Ohio Sasquatch Contacts and Research, they're ushering it in with their actions and worshiping Satan. All indications can validate that. The young woman who was actually for whatever reason, I think women were allowed in there, but there's a club, quote unquote, called Skull and Bones at Yale University, the number 322. A lot of decision makers in Washington, D.C. who have gone to Yale has belonged to this, one of these esoteric secret societies. You know, a lot of people say the CIA spawned from members of the 322, Skull and Bones. And I'm not going to go into the rituals of it. I know that this ain't church, and I got a dirty mouth, but I mean, some of this stuff, do your own research on it. It's pretty sick. And these people are in power right now. Makes you think somebody who would do some sick shit behind closed doors to be a part of some exclusive little group or club that somehow get in positions of power. Where did that stop? Where did the maturity, if you want to call it that, come in? They say, oh, well, I'm glad all that weird stuff's over. Now I can be a real human being and run the country. Yeah, I don't think it happens that way. Especially if they're on TV saying that, oh, we keep a secret. We can't tell you what it was all about. We can't tell you what the agenda is. They just approved a widening of the highway with guard towers on all sides. Look it up. Yvonne Griffith, what highway? What? I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Another thing, if you want to look up, Agenda 21. They would love, our paymasters at the very top would love some cataclysmic, worldwide, terrible event to take place. Something that they can usher in. And a lot of people say it's crazy. It's crazy that even if they try to attempt it, I think. So there's going to have to be some cataclysmic extinction level event for them to usher forth some sort of a nationwide martial law. But folks, look at Paris, France. The terrorist attacks that happened there. Find newscasts that happened after that, post-terrorist attack. They have military units walking up and down the streets, curfews. And this is Paris, France. This isn't, Hey Boy from Hey Boy Corner telling you about some town in Oklahoma with a population of 30. This is Paris. They have the same type of freedoms that we do. And a military force telling them when they can go, where they can go, when they need to be home, when they can come back out of their homes. But see, you can't compare a government and the laws that govern that particular government with its people. And we got some subscribers and friends in France. I'm not talking down on them. But us Americans, I don't care what color they are, if you're a real God-fearing, flag-waving American, you have that spirit of rebellion in you. And I don't see this happening in this country. And folks saying, oh, well, I guess it's for the best. We might as well just pack up and go on to the FEMA camps, so they can protect us. I don't see it going down that way. And you've heard, my scenario of if, Lord forbid, something like that were to happen, these things that watch us from the tree line when they have 1,000 acres of deep brush behind them, what would they do? That's just a possibility. I always feel like a negative Nancy going into that because there is a positive aspect of it. Maybe the ones that are left, the ones that rebel and decide to stay in rural areas, maybe these creatures who seem to be opening themselves up to a handful of people, showing themselves to people, I don't know, who knows? Maybe the real forest friends will shine through. I mean, I don't know. All I can do is take wild ass guesses, try to put logic to them. And that's all anybody else does, by the way. Let's see what else we got here. Bigfoot in Germany. I guess he's heard of that. The highway thing. Dick Richards. Man, who's been telling me from day one that they're demons. Keep up the great work, man. I love the channel and the content and the honesty. Wish you much success, bro. Thank you, Jay Coop. I'm not really, honestly, I don't think I'll be allowed too much success because I don't walk in fear and I'm damn sure not intimidated by anybody at the top. So I'm going to continue to be ignored as just being, you know, we're the island of misfit toys. But, you know, we are also the people who are thinking objectively and actually looking at the evidence and taking our critical thinking to a level that meets the evidence instead of, you know, the other way around. You don't project your thoughts onto what you see. You see and then analyze and discern what's there. And there's been too much of these people who like Jay Coop said, they're not showing evidence to begin with. They're just talking, and they probably talk better than what I do. And, you know, they have a bigger following. And I've had a lot of people, my brothers and sisters of many different colors, say, you know, D, do you think race plays a part in it? No. I think that Dick Richards could be on here going through the same thing that I went through. And he's a Canadian Caucasian man. Sound like a Scotsman to me, but that's my brother. You know, I love him. I think he could be on here. I think Brown Dwarf, anybody of any color or any background could be on here and be telling the truth, and they'd be suppressed because, like you say, nobody wants. And I don't know what's going on with these creatures, but I'm going to find out. Thank you, Matt Niven. That's my brother from down under. He says we can't lose with all the great people contributing to this channel. You're absolutely right, and that's the way I feel. You know, sometimes with if you could just see the amount of people that contact me, I feel bad because I can't, like, you know, in a timely fashion get to them all. But and I don't know if this is going on with everybody else who's on YouTube or any, you know what I'm saying, that are in this subject. But to think that so many people, and I'll sneak around on channels, just because you don't see my comments don't mean I don't see them. As a matter of fact, I had a shout out, and it's a brand new channel. They sort of do what I do. Paranormal UK Radio Network. The Paranormal UK United Kingdom Radio Network. It's Paranormal UK Radio Network on YouTube. I like those guys. I like them a lot. I think that their hearts are in the right place and their minds are in the right place. Agreed, D, too much emotion going into it, not enough logic and thought. Even the ones with logic and thought, Dave, like, they're not letting their good senses as far as being honest and upright lead them. You know what I mean? Like, there comes a time, and, you know, honestly, I've been at that crossroads. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I was at this crossroads where I could take this channel to an astounding new, I mean, where it would make more money than anyways, I've came to this crossroads, but I would have to compromise my integrity to take that road. So I couldn't even really see it. That's not an option for me. You know, people can call me what they want to because of this or that, but what? What is it? Who is this person? I guess like Agnes. Can robots actually go into live chats? That was weird. This Agnes is I'm guessing, advertising some porn site. It's probably, you know, we're talking too much truth, so they're going to come and derail. And that's another thing. I want you guys to go to other researchers' channels. This is a piece of homework. Go and look at the comments. You'll have all sorts of people who are supporting this researcher, all sorts of people with their minds in the right spot. And all it takes is one person who's disruptive or rude or indignant. Excuse me. I really didn't mean to do that into the microphone. Just came out. Anyways, you'll find one person who just derails the whole thing. And all these good people who mean well, their focus comes from the truth that they just heard, or the truth they just heard, or the truth they just saw. And it focuses on berating this person for interrupting that truth. And that's another tactic. It's all very, it's psychological warfare. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really is. You don't necessarily have to, these people don't have to acknowledge me. They don't have to
downgrade me because of something in my past or something I've said or this or that. All they have to do is sign into a different profile or come under a different name and say something mildly rude. And the good people on the channel are going to be like, hey, asshole, this guy's all right. He's not doing anything to anybody. He's not talking down to anybody. And it doesn't become about the subject matter anymore. Damn me, take me out of the equation. It doesn't become about truth seeking. It becomes about defending and pushing the rubbish out. And that's all you really got to do. Like, just take the attention away from what is. And what is on this channel, no matter what aspect you see it in, is pursuit of truth. So hopefully, you know, if all the people who even listen to this, and also go back and look at the past 30 videos I put up, no matter whether it's produced or not. As in produced, I mean something that I've edited together. You're going to see 1 to 4 dislikes. Like clockwork, it's uniformed. That tells me that somebody really, really has a crush on old DDoS in the wrong way. If you don't like me, I mean, you don't got to listen to me. This ain't CBS. But anyways, all right, I got you. Bigfoot in Germany, he's been trying to get my attention for a while. I'm just seeing it. That's a crazy picture, bro. Man, I'm on my old computer. I don't have the new beast in here. This is the old this is the old one that I started on with Windows XP. That's some wicked looking stuff though, man. Like, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can. And this goes in that whole spiritual thing. Like, he has a Sasquatch in frame and all this weird, I mean, glowing white eyes, something looks like it has 3 fingers with its hand on like this other thing's head. So I'm going to try my best to see if I can share that. And it's just an example of what I'm talking about. And I forgot who asked. It's like, why do these people talk about this stuff and they don't show? That's a lot of the reason too, because some of the stuff they get has a lot of this type of stuff in it. And if they want to keep, you know, a certain crowd who follows this thing, they have to take the focus off of this whole aspect, the whole spiritual aspect. There's a lot of stuff in there, bro. I don't know if you guys can see that. I wish I had the editor to lighten it up because it is kind of hard to see. But he focused in on it for us. Excuse me. Let me get back over here, see if you can even see what I'm talking about. All right. This is a 12-footer that you're looking at. Bigfoot Germany's in the chat right now. If you could walk us through it. There's a flesh and, he said there's the flesh and blood with the spiritual stuff. And it looks like they're communicating back and forth. He has the actual video on his channel. See, if I had my editing equipment, I mean, it'd be no problem whatsoever to like just kind of clean that up so you could see it better. Or not clean it up, but what's the word? Sharpen it. Because I do know that there are skeptics out there that really want to see this stuff, but you almost have to train your eye to see it. Let's see here. Uh-oh. This thing's acting weird. Whoops. Now, folks, this is what I mean by pareidolia. And this is why I say I don't believe in it. No matter how the sharpness level is on this, you can see 2 white glowing eyes, mouth, the hand. If you look here and look at the coloration in the rest of the picture, this is another way to do it. You can see the discoloration from everything else that's in frame. Work your way down from that and look for the symmetry. It's a weird picture, dude. I mean, kind of uncomfortable even looking at it. All sorts of faces in there. See, this is kind of stuff that's written off as pareidolia. And a lot of researchers, you know, and I can understand it in a way, especially ones that's been doing it a whole lot longer than me. I get stressed out with it too. But they say, because you get the hecklers that'll come along that aren't a part of any kind of shadowy conspiracy to do anything. They just can't see it, and they're, you know, rude in telling people. But to they'll tell them straight up, like, this ain't nothing but a bunch of leaves and blurry pictures and this, that, and the other thing. You're an idiot. You know, stay out of those woods. What the hell's this over here? What the hell? Now you do see this, right? Like, look at those ears. I'm seeing an ears, an eye. That looks to be teeth. A branch in front of his face. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I've looked at way too many. Uh-oh, there we go. I'm gonna jump back over here with y'all. Tell me if I'm crazy. And I'll go check myself in the rolling hills tonight and eat my cup of pills and watch cartoons for the rest of my life. Let's see, what do we got here? Very odd indeed. And you're right, Bigfoot in Germany. Yeah, I want to get him on here with us before. And it works into the theory. It's like 5 or 6 people contributing to it, all of whom are probably 10 times smarter than me. But 4 to 5 other creatures. So there's 6 to 7 in this photo. Bigfoot in Germany. Your brain is just better at recognizing patterns. Randall the Vandal may be right. Like, you know, and a lot of people with military training who get into this thing, I believe that's why they're so good at, and especially what he did in the military. He can recognize patterns where people see none. You know, but I wasn't in the military. You know, anyways, that's neither here nor there. We're gonna get him on here and begin to roll out this. I guess you can call it a stasis, or not stasis, but a thesis statement, whatever it's called. I don't know. It's 4:39 a.m. here. But at any rate, I think I saw Johnny 22. Chad just caught up and went away real fast. I've seen Johnny sneak in here though. What's up, man? If it was you, start moving at the speed of light there for a second. So I don't know, what else have you guys got for me? We love you too, Yvonne and Griffith. I sincerely appreciate that. Yeah, like Bigfoot in Germany said, weird ethereal crap. You know, I think that's what I'll refer to it as, you know, because everybody sees that and they say, well, it's demonic spirits. It's the Nephilim, the spirit, the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. They're this, they're that. Honestly, I can't say with 100% certainty what that crap is, ghosts or whatever. It's weird ethereal crap. And it seems to have some sort of weird connection to the physical ones. I still don't think the physical ones are necessarily aware of their presence, but, you know, there's a lot of pictures like Bigfoot in Germany's where it looks like they're looking straight at each other. And before I jump back in the chat one last time and see what else you got for me, there's a researcher, and I haven't said his name publicly. I really admire the guy. He's doing good work. He sent me a video, and this researcher on his main channel, he has all sorts of weird stuff. He has not released this particular video to the public. And I know he listens to my shows, and I know he's probably going to listen to this one. And I've asked him before, but he's not really said anything. I really want to show people this. So I think they need to see it. And folks, this isn't some blurry, could be this, could be that type of stuff. This video in particular is, and I know somebody's going to harangue me about it, but it's not mine to go into detail about. I was entrusted with it, and only show it to people that I do trust personally myself and keep their mouths shut. And that's what I've done. But it would give the general, it would let everybody know what's really out there and what's possibly at stake if we keep our ignorance up. It's definitive in that way. And the more time goes on, the more, I'm seeing how people who have some sort of basically political sway in the subject kind of they're steering things. They're steering the subject and in steering the subject and the positions they're in, they're steering people's perceptions. And I don't like that kind of stuff. It's deceptive. It's misleading. But this one particular piece of footage, we wouldn't even have to talk about it. All you got to do is see it. So I'm gonna ask him again. I'm gonna ask him tomorrow. And I do understand his reluctance. Just know I'll take the heat. I'll be more than happy to. And it'll be released anonymously for no monetization whatsoever. I just want people to see it. I don't want to make money off of it. I think that's listen, there's some of this stuff on here. Which I'm not trying to do this for free, but according to YouTube, the 1920s paychecks that I was making are going to get dwindled down to practically nothing. Oh, well, that just means I have to slow down and get to talk to you as much. But there is some stuff that I think you have to see. That's why when Jay Coop said it, I agree wholeheartedly. If people are going on and they're bragging about these clear pictures they have, which lead them to knowledge that you need and why you need to listen to them, it's not only ridiculous not to show these pictures. I think it could be potentially dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of people we're only 15% of the population who, believe in this stuff, quote unquote. And there's even a less percent than that that's actually seen them. So you get some nice family out there, with no idea that these things exist. They're not going to think Bigfoot or dog. They're going to think monsters, demons. I've been trying to get a vid of the creatures here. It's kind of hard. Jamil Ali Hussein. If you've been trying to send me a video, dude, I haven't checked my email in a few days. Oh, you're in Trinidad, dude? Trinidad and Tobago. Jamil, I'm sorry if you sent me something and I didn't see it, man. I'm always like a week behind, but I do check it, regularly. Like, my personal email is ddos13@gmail.com. And we also have Bigfoot Dogman Research @gmail.com. Either one of those. And we'll try to see what you got. And, Trinidad, though, it's another, that's one I've not heard of these creatures being in. This goes to show, man, they're everywhere, literally. Dogman and rake creatures. No, I still have to get it first. Oh, I got you. You're trying to get your hands on it. Well, sneak in the damn window, bro. Listen, don't bother with it if it's some government official or whatever. I don't know how Trinidad works, but if I don't know if you got a uncle or something that works for the government, don't even worry about it. Just send me an email. I haven't seen you before. I'd like to see you back here again. And once you start getting up there, people veil threats, and that's just fear. I don't believe that these people who've contacted me with this kind of stuff, they don't have any sway whatsoever. But that also don't mean I'm stupid and don't listen to them. You know what I mean? There's a reason these people are telling me this stuff. And if they're not associated with the folks at the top who would like this information kept pushed down, then, they're saying that out of respect. I do take that into consideration as well. But they have to take into consideration that, grew up watching Stone Cold Steve Austin. Anyways, I guess I'm signing off here. Lori Murdy, was good talking to you the other day. She says it's when I want to be committed. Wait a minute. It's when you want to be committed, I guess I was going to say. It's when you want to be committed that they say nothing's wrong with you. It stinks. Yeah, no doubt. Like, Randall the Vandal, Dark Waters got seriously harassed by MIB when he got photos. Stick to entertainment, bud. Dude, I'm only entertainment by the definition of the YouTube channel because they didn't have an option for Badass Okie. So I had to click the entertainment spot. The MIB, I'm not worried about some potential, what are those things, like robots or something they're supposed to be? I honestly hope one of the Men in Black show up. They take off their glasses and looks like the static of a TV. I'm gonna shoot them right in the face, and I'm gonna drag whatever they're made of into the house, and I'm gonna call every last one of my cousins and my uncles and that are ranking military officers, and I'm gonna say, get your ass down here right now because one of your ABC buddies just sent one of these robots to my house, and it's going on the evening news, and then we'll get to the truth of the matter. See, that's the thing, though. That like all the I don't fear any of these ABC of the like I say, it goes back to that book. The book that I read says, "Fear the one that can destroy the soul, not the body." And I have the, some would say unfortunate disposition of believing every single last blessed word of that book in my bones. So I don't really fear the Men in Black or anything. They can kiss my ass. Pardon my language, you older folks and ladies. But dude, if some big people in like old school 50s black attire come here with Will Smith Men in Black shades on and they start taking them off and I don't see anything of a human being, I'll put on that country dumb again, smile and nod my head and 357 round right to the face. But anyways, folks, I love y'all. I'm glad that y'all stuck in here with me. This has probably been the longest rant that I've had. Y'all are great though. And I sincerely, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all, even the ones of y'all that hit thumbs down and that don't like me. I really appreciate that you stuck with me and at least heard a little bit of what I said. And hopefully not the sound and the register of my voice resonates that I'm mad at any particular person or anything. It's just a lot of stuff building up, and I don't like the whole thing. I don't like the thing as a whole, mind you. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't like it when people are being misled who genuinely want to know for no other reason than just understanding. That bothers me. It really does. And yeah, like I told Yeti, I'm going to have to call back and tell him I told him Pogli Pie yesterday. So I said, when he comes down here, that's going to be my last time into the field. I'd still have the channel and whatnot, still talk to people, but to hell with that. I'm going to start going deeper and getting into the guts and the entrails of not only Brown Springs and the surrounding areas, but I'm going to go to Germany with old Bob over there. I'm going to get up there with Kirk. I'm still going to go and see Shoddy Boy. It's just that self-funding this stuff, that therein lies the trouble. But I believe I was opening up to this for a reason and by a higher source than we can all comprehend. So when I get that feeling that it's time to stop, that's when I'll stop, not out of any kind of anything else. Much love, Brown Dwarf. He's the future. I don't even know where y'all listen to me. Y'all should be watching his footage. Thanks, Bigfoot Memphis. Much love. Ohio Sasquatch Contact and Research. And thank you all for the birthday wishes. It really meant a lot to me. Johnny 2287 twice. There you are, bud. When's the 8-hour show coming on? Man, you know what? I'll tell you what. One day on a weekend, when we got the kids all settled and whatnot, like we can do an 8-hour show. I'll incorporate all of them. The handful of times that they went out there, I'll let them tell you what they've seen and stuff. Matt Niven, you're right. This is my therapy. I don't believe in therapy either, though, but that's sort of an esoteric practice. I like the people who are therapists, though. They're awesome to talk to. They have a very good perception and grasp on reality and life. Once you start getting into analyzing the mind's made, or the brain, rather. The brain's made of flesh. The mind's something different. Science has come to that realization as well. You know, what's the mind? What is the part of a human person? Because they've done a brain transplant, I've heard recently. How's that going to turn out? You know what I mean? What makes the person? Is it the brain and all the different parts of the brain, or is it the mind? The mind's completely separate. Larry and Candace Hills, love y'all. Though we don't get to see them in here that much, but I'm glad y'all can stop through here. Good people. Y'all are all good people. I'm like I said, even the ones that I want to give a good cussing to sometimes. Like I enjoy that y'all at least listen, and you're basing your criticisms off of what I say or what you see, and instead of what you've heard. You know, honestly, I'm kind of hypnotizing y'all into doing what the channel's set up for. You know, critical thinking. And this, I actually talked to Wes Germer on this one. Randall Vandal says someone sent Wes Germer some good evidence and he got harassed bad. I wanted D to know. Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, I know that. Believe me, I know firsthand. Like I said, there was some stuff, and I hope that you can discern a lot of what I've told you. Thank you, Heartbreaker Taker, for the birthday wishes. But I hope that what I've said, a little bit of discernment on your part can be told. Like I've experienced a little bit of that. And this is all going to be on public. This isn't getting deleted. I am sincerely, they know what, the parties that I'm talking about know exactly what I mean. I'm more scared of a spider crawling out from this 90-year-old refurbished piano sitting next to me than I am of some government agency looking to shut me up because they've lied to people for probably since the beginning. That doesn't bother me one single bit. But anyways, y'all are fantastic. Awesome people, not just subscribers. Yeah, and I have to have my spiritual counseling now with Bigfoot in Germany. I'll tell you another tale out of school. He's a deliverance minister. He's actually seen these things inside of people, and with the help of other brothers and sisters that are in the spirit, remove them and cleanse their house. And the rest is on them. But you know, when you get into that, when you get into this stuff, and I really want to start talking to some of the researchers, take a little break and, you know, put boots on the ground in a different way and really start talking about that aspect of things, you know, because you can give implied permission and get one of these things attached to you. And they get in your life and, you know, it makes it hard on you where it's usually peace and serenity. When that peace is all of a sudden taken away and you're sitting back with your wife or your husband and saying, what's going on? It's just a feeling in the air, this pressure, you know, we're arguing for no reason at all, things we don't care about. What's going on? Start looking a little bit deeper. Stop using your brain, start using your mind on that kind of stuff. And you might get to the answer of it. That's neither here nor there. That's for another episode. I love y'all. And thank you sincerely for all the birthday wishes. It meant the world to me. For all the researchers out there, you know how I feel about y'all. Y'all are the best. And keep your eye out. Like I said, you know, I've been working on a lot of real special stuff for y'all that I hope you enjoy. Some of y'all are bananas too. That's another fun part of it. Y'all have a good morning.